Okay, next up, we are looking for the factored form of what we have here. So from what I talked about earlier, we know we can use quadratic formula or split it. So firstly, I need to change it into a quadratic. I can't use the same substitution I did last time. What I can do is pull out an x, so I'm going to do that. And I get x into 2x squared plus 4x minus 1. And then now from here, I can use quadratic formula to simplify what I have inside the brackets. So if I try to use product sum, I have -2. For the factors of -2 are -2, 1, or 1, -2, and those don't add up to 4. And so I clearly can't find it easily. And so that indicates I'm going to have to use a quadratic formula, and that's just -b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. All over 2a. My a is 2, my b is 4, my c is -1. So this would become -4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 4 into -1 into 2. All over 2 by 2. -4 plus or minus the square root of 16 plus 8 all over 4. 16 plus 8 is going to give me 24. So this is -4 plus or minus the square root of 24 over 4. 24 isn't a perfect square, so I'm going to use square root properties that just state that the square root of a by b is equal to the square root of a multiplied by the square root of b. And so the square root of 24 is equal to the square root of 4 multiplied by the square root of 6. That's 2 by the square root of 6. So using that, I'll have my two solutions as -4 plus or minus 2 square root 6 over 4. When I simplify that, that becomes -1 plus or minus the square root of 6 over 2. And that's going to be it. So these are my 2x values. And so now when I plug it in so that I can have it in fully factored form, I will get x into x minus -1 plus square root 6 over 2. And I will have x minus -1 minus square root 6 over 2. This will give me x into x plus 1 plus root 6 over 2 into x plus 1 minus square root 6 over 2. I can see that that factor of 2 before the x cubed arises because of this 2, so I can decide to leave it like this or multiply the entire bracket by 2 if I wish to do so. And that's going to be it for this question. So you can leave it in this form, or you can have 2 over 2 and 2 over 2 here, or as 2x plus something, which is completely up to you. And that's going to be it for this one. Okay, next up I have an inequality. So with these questions, typically at the high school level, when you're taught things, it's so that you can learn how to use math as a tool. But math is exactly that, a tool to do things that are visualized and in real life, but simplified down to a simple expression like this that you know how to work with. That's the point of high school math, that you know how to work with the math. But it's really important that you understand what is actually going on. You can describe it in words, you can describe it graphically. That way, if you do happen to have the math down wrong, you can see where you went wrong and understand that the solution either makes sense or doesn't make sense for what's going on. So let's first do the math before we explain it. So for 2 minus 2x is greater than or equal to 5x plus 5. Let's first expand that out to become 8 minus 4x is greater than or equal to 5x plus 5. Okay, and then next up, we're just going to want to bring all the x's to one side and all of the real numbers to the other side. So we can bring 4x over here and the 5 over here. So 8 minus 5 is greater than or equal to 5x plus 4x. So 3 is greater than or equal to 9x. Sorry, it's greater than or equal to, this is plus. So this will become 8 minus 5 is greater than or equal to 5x minus 4x. So 3 is greater than or equal to x. That's going to be your answer. You can state it as x is less than or equal to 3. Okay, now what is going on here? I've solved the inequality, but what is the question really asking me for is what I need to understand. And so I can see that both of these are functions of x. So I have an inequality that looks like this. And what this is asking me for is when is the function g of x greater than or equal to f of x? So at what point are these two functions meeting? And past that point, is g of x greater than or equal to, depending on that, you'll get your answer for what x value at which g of x passes f of x, basically is what this is asking for. So before I go to Desmos, I can just solve this quickly in my head. I remember that the general form is y is equal to mx plus b, m being the slope. So for g of x, where I have 4x plus 8, and for f of x, where I have 5x plus 5, I can already see that this function is steeper than this function. And so if I have y1 and y2, and my two intercepts are 8 and 5, y2 is going to cross at the 8. Sorry. So the 1 crossing the 5 the one crossing the 5 is more steep, and the one crossing the 8 is less steep. And so let's label these y1 and y2. F of x is y1, g of x is y2. So as I said, what this question is asking for is when is y2 greater than or equal to y1. And so I need to find out what point they meet at this x value, and y2 will be greater than y1 for x values below that. And so, as I said, just go to Desmos. Plus 5. Oops. Okay, so I see that they meet at x is equal to 3. And for values below 3 is where I have my y2 being greater than y1. And so my answer to this question by visual inspection is x is less than or equal to 3, which I have found by doing the math. And so that's going to be it for this question. Okay, and those are all of the questions I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's Q&A. If you'd like to be notified of when we do post more videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell right next to it so you can it can push you a notification of when we do post. If you'd like to be able to post questions of your own, be sure to check out the links in the description so you can get access to the OneClass page where we do source our questions. This has been Marlene from OneClass, and I hope to see you next time.